Recently, Oceania Cruises announced a transition to an adults-only experience where all guests have to be 18 or older. Now, this isn't shocking because on Oceania, which is a higher end line, except for some Alaskan sailings, there were very few kids on Oceania to begin with. I've been talking to some friends about this. I've said it's kind of like not allowing cats at the dog park. Like, okay, that might affect some, but not too many. This announcement, though, did make me realize and think about the fact that there's something bigger going on, and I want to talk about it here. Now, warning, some of this may be controversial, often for reasons I don't really understand. First, an explanation. This type of video, this is something I'm trying out that's new, where I share my opinion on something cruise related. I've done some cruise news type things long ago, where I would give my opinion on those news events, but honestly, cruise news is a lot to catch up on. A lot of people are doing that well. So maybe once in a while, if this works out, I will just come on here and talk to you guys. Let me know what you think. Usually I do vlogs, ship tours, tips videos, and if you want to see more of that type of thing, great. I'm not going anywhere with that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I've got lots of that already out there and plenty more on deck, including a new vlog kind of relating to what we're talking about today, in fact. But check that out. Let me know in the comments below, though, if you like this type of thing. We can do more of it. If you don't like this type of thing, I've only been talking for like 30 seconds on the content, so keep watching the rest of the video and then tell me if you like it or not. Now let's start by talking about the types of sailings that there are today in terms of like adults and kids and families. Because there are folks that don't cruise or that have only cruised a limited number of lines that might make assumptions that all cruises are for old people or all cruises are for families, or that there are singles cruises. I love that one. People asking about singles cruises, like, oh, that is a thing in a particular sitcom from the 1970s. The reality is there are many types of cruises out there, and there are none that are inherently better or worse. There is no right or wrong. It's nice that there are options. There are family-focused lines like Disney Cruise Line, to name kind of the biggest one. There are adult-only lines like Virgin, and there are many things in between. Roughly 60% of North American cruisers, because I know that about 80-90% of you watching are from North America. If you're not, sorry, but I think you'll still find all of this relevant. Roughly about 60% of North American cruisers sail contemporary lines. Those are lines like Carnival, MSC, Royal Caribbean, NCL. Those are the biggest ones. Those lines, they aim to be something to everyone, right? They cater to multi-generation, to families, to couples, to everybody. Another 30% or so of North American cruisers, they sail premium lines. So think Celebrity Holland America, Princess. Those are the kind of big ones. Now, within this area, you also have kind of Disney and Virgin, but I look at those as specialty for the reason that we're talking about here. It's no surprise that premium lines don't have as many kids on board, but they absolutely have kids. There are kids programs. Some of them, like on Celebrity, look really cool. Kind of makes me wish I could go. But yeah, it's absolutely a thing, but not as many as on the contemporary lines. Now, there are other ways that people kind of divide themselves up in as far as kids and adults on cruises, including areas on ships. I'm scrolling up on my notes because, like I said earlier, this whole concept of video is new to me and I don't want to forget to mention things. So areas on ships, starting in 2007, Carnival Cruise Line introduced Serenity decks for adults. Now that's a sun deck area of their ships. Some of them even have pools just for adults. And there are other cruise lines that have things like this. Royal and Celebrity both have solariums, which are, except for certain times of the day, and in Alaska, certain things like they're adult only. MSC has various types of adult only pools and pool decks. Notice those are all outdoor spaces, not as many indoor, though some of those do exist as well. There are also adult only lines and sailings. Now, this is where it gets interesting because since Virgin Voyages announced their line over a decade ago now, they announced as Virgin Cruises, it feels like there's been a lot more discussion about adult-only cruising. And people think that Virgin was the first, that they're the only adult-only cruise line. Well, at least until Oceania made their announcement, right? And that's not really true, but it did bring a lot of attention, which I think is good. It's good that people know there are options. Viking cruises, Viking Ocean Cruises, I should say, they've been 18 plus since they launched, which I think was a little bit before Virgin. Yeah, we'll go with that. In Europe, several lines like P&O and Marella, I feel like I'm forgetting one, have adult only or adult focused sailings. Saga Cruises, that's an interesting one out of the UK. They're 50 and up. I can't yet sail on Saga. One day, getting there sooner than I'd like. Other lines, they may not be restricted to adults only, but you just don't find a lot of kids. Now, I mentioned like with premium lines, there aren't as many, but some like really, even more so than Oceania before this announcement. For example, not a lot of people are taking their kids on Sea Dream Yacht Club. Those are real small ship, high-end cruises. Celebrity Cruise in the Galapagos, things like that. One of their ships, I think, only has like 12 cabins or something like that. So they're not technically adults only, but you're not going to see kids, right? Just in the past year also, I should mention that Carnival started having some sailings, and it's actually part of their casino program, that are 21 and up. It's interesting because it's a notable exception where you have a cruise line that has a lot of stuff for kids that is testing out those waters. We'll see how that goes in time. It's a brand new thing for them. Now, here is where it gets weird. Some folks are oddly upset about everything. Well, I don't know. It's 2026. You may have noticed that some folks are upset about everything. Here's what I mean, though. The internet or society on any medium isn't short of people with complaints. I got complaints. We all got complaints. That's okay. Some of those complaints are reasonable and others maybe not so much, at least to me. So some complain about kids on contemporary lines. This comes up a lot. And listen, no one likes kids running down hall at 2 a.m. making a bunch of noise while you're trying to sleep, or other types of disruptive or even dangerous behavior. No one likes that. There's a difference between this, of course, and complaining that there are too many kids on a ship with bumper cars, youth programs, water slides. I'm not a kids person, and like that seems like kids should be allowed to be there, right? A quick note before I continue with this video. If it is related, though, if you want to sail without kids, but with me, I mean, I'll be there. You don't have to hang out with me. Check out brilliantladygroupcruise.com. In 2027, we're going to sail Virgin Voyages' newest ship, Brilliant Lady, to Alaska. Beautiful Alaska. Excited. You can join us. Sailing on one of our group cruises means there are value adds, bespoke tours, group events, and more. Some things we don't get to announce until we get closer in, so I kind of have to tease some things out. But yeah, check it out, brilliantladygroupcruise.com. I'll put it in the links below. Oh, and if you want to go on a group cruise, a cruise have a group cruise, but where there's no 18 plus requirement, then you can join me on Celebrity Xcel in December of 2026. That's Celebrity's newest ship. For that information, you can go to xcelgroupcruise.com. That's Xcel starting with an X, not with an E. It's not just people complaining about kids, though. It works the other way, and this is where it's really strange. Some people complain about people who want to enjoy a cruise online with families, but maybe have some spaces without kids. Like this person. I don't think it's any more absurd to have an adult-only venue on a cruise ship than it is to have a kids-only venue on a cruise ship. I'm not sure why it's so upsetting to this person. Others still are opposed to adult-only lines because they think they're only one thing, or maybe they're not opposed to them. They just don't think they're for them. They're not all one thing. They're not all adult cruises are boring. Some want a slow pace and a quiet environment. I certainly do sometimes. Others want lots to do, lots of onboard activities and a vibrant atmosphere. There's a difference between Virgin and Viking, to name two. There's a variety of options out there when we talk about these. Now, if you want water slides on your ship, and that's something that's important to you in order to have a good time, well, yeah, there's going to be kids, but that's when you look for those lines that have ships that with adult-only options on board that are appealing to you. Makes sense, right? Now, another common misconception about adult-only cruising or kid-free cruising, some people, I don't know, I'm going to be honest, some people seem to think that sailing on some of these obligates them to have sex with whoever else is on the ship. It's weird. I don't get it. People have a very different view, especially with Virgin, about these things. Now, everyone's allowed to have their own standards and things they are comfortable with personally. That's cool. No problem there. It's hard to imagine what some people think is happening on board such that they can't attend because of their religion. Yeah, I don't get it either. I hope that person won. I hope they had a great time. Uh, anyway, that's probably enough interneting for today. So what's my point with all of this? Well, my point is that there are a lot more cruise lines than ever. There are more options than ever, different types of ships, more venues. People like to say, oh, the way that cruising used to be. Well, that kind of cruising largely still exists. You're maybe just shopping the wrong line. There are different lines for different folks who want different things, and that is great. But a lot of people don't notice these options. And I'll shamelessly say that people should be working with a good travel agent like our friends and partners over at Touring and Cruises, because a good travel agent can help guide you. Ask the right questions to figure out what vacation experience, cruise or otherwise, is right for you. Sometimes when new lines come along, like Virgin, or when these announcements are made like with Oceania, it alerts people to more options. And that's a good thing too. Others, they don't notice the options because they're really stuck on like cruise line loyalty. And that's a whole different topic that I'll probably make a video about at some point. It's something I don't get because to me, a free bag of laundry or a complimentary package of bottled water is just not more important than trying new things. That's me. Now, since around 2015, it does seem like some people are waking up to this idea that not every cruise line has to be everything to everyone. And that is a good thing. So when this announcement with Oceania happened and it made people talk, I like that. And when Disney comes out with a new option that attracts families or just Disney nerds, I like that too. So there are options, check them out. And yeah, I'm just curious what you think about this little this conversation. I'd love to continue it down in the comments. What lines do you like and why? Have you tried other lines? Have you not? What do you think about adult-only venues, kids-only venues? Let me know. I look forward to talking ship with you again real soon.